Welcome to Premiere Pro Tips and Tricks Part 3. If you haven't seen my other two, you can check them out on my YouTube channel or my website, sebsaga.com, where you'll see all my tutorials, my work, my motion graphics, all that fun stuff. Today I have 5 tips and tricks, which include keyboard shortcuts, dynamic linking, and that's really it. So let's just jump right in. So I'm sure a lot of you by now already know that the tilde key will full screen whatever panel your mouse hovers over, and that's probably how you're watching your videos full screen, and that's fine because you still have your buttons here and you have your scrubber here, so that's cool. But if you want a real full screen, like if you're showing it to your client or you're showing it to somebody, you want it to take up the whole, the whole screen. So to do that, you actually hold Control and tilde, and that'll actually give you a real full screen. So this is something I learned recently that actually completely changes the game, in my opinion, and I hope you guys can benefit from this as well. I used it just the other day when I was showing one of my clients a video that I was doing for them, and it really just helps them to, get immersed in the whole video. So cool. So next up on the list is macro keys. So macro keys are really cool once you get familiar and comfortable with them. So what I use them for primarily is for 2 things. For inserting a clip into your timeline and then opening up the source monitor again. And then also for selecting the next clip in the bin or your project bin and opening it in the source monitor. So basically macro keys allow you to perform 2 or more shortcuts with one button. So normally when you're going through your clips, you'll have to open up a clip, set your in and out, bring it into your timeline, and then go over to the next clip, right? And then continue the process. Now with macro keys, that kind of reduces the number of steps you have to take. Now macro keys aren't meant for saving a bunch of time like in the moment. It's more about the compound effect that it has over time. So if I'm saving 2 seconds every time I'm going through each one of these clips, well then, after I'm done with 8 of these clips, I've saved a total of 16 seconds right now. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you have like 200 or 300 clips you're going through, you're really shaving off minutes off of your whole edit process. So let me show you how I set up my macro keys. So I have a Cintiq 13 Wacom tablet, which has buttons on the side that allows you to set up macro keys. Now, if you don't have a Cintiq, that's totally fine. You can actually download macro key software from online. You could just Google, macro key software Windows or macro key software Mac. So I'll just show you the macro keys in action really quick. So I'll show you the what I have set up for the next clip in timeline or next clip in bin. So I set my in, I set my out, I insert it, 1 click, I'm in the next shot. So my in, my out, bring it in, 1 click, I'm into the next one in the bin. So you'll see that over time, instead of having to go double click, in, out, drag, double click, in, out, drag, right? You save a lot of time by just setting that to 1 button. That'll just continuously go down the list. So macro key is comprised of 3 shortcuts, right? You have Shift 1 down on the arrow keys, and then Shift O. So Shift 1, what that'll do, it'll highlight your project bin, right? Down will go to the next clip, and then Shift O will open that clip in the source monitor. So that's 3 shortcuts that you can combine into 1 key using either macro software or hardware that has buttons that will allow you to assign those buttons to 1 or more keyboard shortcut. I also use the insert and open source monitor macro key. So insert is this button right here, which will insert your clip at the current time indicator to the track that you have selected, right? So I'll click this and it goes there. But then what happens is it switches back to the program monitor. Maybe I want this portion, and then I also want this portion. I'd insert, but then I have to go back to source. And again, now, this isn't like a huge deal, but over time it will save you a lot of time in the end. So the insert key is comma, and then to open up your source again, it's just Shift 2, right? Shift 2. So when you set up your macro key, you set up first it's going to do the comma, and then it's going to do Shift 2. Now, I actually don't have this macro key set up on my desktop. I have it set up on my laptop. I guess I should set it up for my desktop. I've been working a lot on my laptop recently, but I'll show you essentially what it'll look like, right? So you have your insert, which is comma, and then open source, which is Shift F2. So comma, Shift F2, and then you can set your in and out, comma, Shift F2. Even if you're not using macro keys, you should at least know the shortcuts. So I'm sorry if this section was a little bit confusing. I'm a little hazy today, but essentially what you need to get out of this is that macro keys will save you small bits of time, but over a long period of time, it'll save you, minutes, if not like tens of minutes in the long run, right? And if you don't have, a piece of hardware that is physical buttons, you can get software that will register like, the F1 key as a macro key. So that was macro keys. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. If it was, leave a comment. I'll get back to you. I'll help you out some more. I'm just going to move on though to the next tip I have for you guys, which is also a keyboard shortcut. So the backslash key is going to basically allow you to go from one view to another view with one key, right? So the first view will be whatever view you're working on, right? So say I'm working on this one clip and I want to be, close here. That's my first view. I hit the backslash key and that's a default view. So that will actually frame all of your clips, So if I, for example, if I put this out here, the backslash key is going to go from my current view to this view where it'll fit all of the clips. Cool, so that was the backslash key. Next up I have a tip for you guys, non-destructive dynamic linking. A lot of people will, just right click their clip and replace it with an After Effects composition. But I don't like to do that. I actually like to hold Alt, click and drag my video clip. Typically I won't work with audio in After Effects, but if you are working with audio, you can actually drag this over to the side. I'll just cut it and then do it like that. And then you would right click this and replace with After Effects composition. Now, what this allows you to do is do your VFX work in After Effects, and then, when you're back in Premiere, you can shut off this track and see your before and after. It also lets you go back. So if you ever like really mess up your After Effects project, then you can have a fresh start with the video clip in Premiere and then dynamically link that. So I'm not going to go crazy into this. I just wanted to explain that to you guys. Cool. So the last one I have for you guys is dynamically linking black video. So this is just a tip. So basically, if for instance I wanted text to appear up until this point, and I don't want that text to be on the video, I want it to be a separate track so that maybe I can put a blending mode on it in Premiere Pro. What you can do is you can add a new item, a black video, right? Drag this in here and I'll just keep this organized. And make it the duration that you want the title sequence to be. And then you can actually replace the black video with the After Effects composition. And I'll just really quick throw this somewhere. And so now what you have is a composition, the exact duration that you need it to be, right? And what you can do is then just delete the black video and then start putting in your text or whatever, right? Save it, and then open up Premiere, and now your text or whatever is there, and you can shut it off, turn it on, switch the blending mode, which I don't have my effect controls open. Change your blending mode or your opacity, whatever. So now what you basically have is your After Effects composition as a separate layer from your video clip. So just a quick summary. Control tilde is a true way to full screen your video. Macro keys save a lot of time in the long run, so look into them. The backslash key will allow you to go from a zoomed in level to a broader level that'll show you all of your clips in your timeline. Dynamically linking to After Effects can be destructive, but if you make a copy and then dynamically link that, then it's non-destructive and everyone's happy. And then lastly, we have a way to basically measure out, time in your timeline and then bring that into After Effects so that you have a composition with the right duration and whatnot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. You can watch all of my tutorials on my website, sebsaga.com/tutorials. You can also find them on YouTube, but my website is pretty cool, so you should definitely check that out. There's links in the description to my website, to my social media. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you see a clip on the internet or in a movie that uses VFX or motion graphics work and you want to see it broken down, I can also do that too. Just message me on Facebook or Instagram or something and I'll make the explainer video for that. So again, thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe for more tutorials and awesome videos. And I guess that's it. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.